to motivate people to think
Right.
about what's going on. And I'm not sure that everybody that reads a comic would necessarily understand that, but you guys are not alone. All throughout early, America, the comic book people, they would actually write comics and try to put a point out there to warn people and to let them know what their candidate stands for or stood for. And in other countries, surprisingly, like Russia, etc., or even some of the Islamic countries, even today, you can be put to death for writing a comic that speaks out against the dictator or the leader in charge.
Right. That's right. And you guys made you just made a really excellent point that I just kind of wanted to ask you about in regards to your own country and the politicians there being elected, who aren't necessarily the best choice for the citizens, and being elected by people who are uninformed. And I guess you already kind of answered the question in your follow-up statement there. But I was wondering if you observed anything similar here in the States, and if so, what specifically you observed here in the States that inspired you to want to move on with your comic book ideas.
Well, we used to say that things like what happens in Ecuador couldn't happen here in the United States just because our society here in America is different than what it is in other countries or third world countries, and that's right. We are different as Americans. We are different. We are different people. We think different. We have a different culture. I mean, every culture has a different culture, but one thing is that we have realized that what happened in Ecuador, Venezuela, can happen here in the United States, especially by the election of Barack Obama, which is a person that when you hear him talk, if you live in a country like Ecuador, you actually hear the same rhetoric that these politicians, these socialist politicians in Ecuador or in Venezuela talk like. So Obama talks like these people.
Interesting.
Yes, and when he tells you that he wants to fundamentally transform America, so he wants to change this culture, and we live in another country for pretty much half of our lives, so we can understand how special the United States is. A person that comes then later on say how bad the United States is, and I'm gonna transform it into whatever I see it fit. You can tell there's something wrong with that guy, and I mean, it's not just him. It's all the people that back him up. Also, people in the mainstream media, Hollywood, all those people. I mean, I remember when I came to this country, and I love the country. I mean, I saw a lot of freedom, a lot of entrepreneurship. I mean, a lot of opportunities. I was looking at that, but then I was seeing people in the media like, let's say, Bill Maher or Jon Stewart, David Letterman. I mean, all these people, people from Hollywood, actors, all those people. I mean, saying how bad America is. I mean, all the time I'm backing up people from like Hugo Chavez and saying nice things about Saddam Hussein, and I was going like, really? I mean, should I think like that? I mean,
right.
I just got here. I mean, and I see a lot of things that I'm not available to see in my country, and I'm supposed to really think that the United States is bad and all that stuff. I mean, no. There's something wrong with that.
Right, absolutely. And so is it safe to assume then that you yourselves coming from a socialist country, and then having the hope and the dreams that you had, that you knew were available once upon a time here in the United States, and then when you came here and you see everything kind of going along the same way, the same direction as your home country of Ecuador, is it safe to say that that's what just kind of motivated you to want to do something?
Pretty much. I mean, it drives. It drives a little bit the message in the comic. I mean, when we draw the comic, I mean, we base it on real life, on current events. We try to base it. base the stories as much as we can on current. We also want to connect with everyday people, like some of our public streets. I mean, a father can relate, a mother can relate, a son, a daughter. They can all relate to certain episodes in Chepo Team. So we wanna do it that way. We want to have good entertainment, but also deliver a good message. Because when you watch a Family Guy or The Simpsons, you do see some good entertainment there, but it's filled with a lot of their propaganda, a lot of their less garbage. And not only that, it's attacking your beliefs. Yeah, it's like the episode that they make. I mean, on many occasions, they put. It's like they live in a bubble, in an elitist bubble, and they just see things what they think is right and wrong because they live, in their penthouse apartment or whatever, and they see things different. But we try to connect it as much as an everyday American life. So that's something that inspires us. That there's not really an alternative for everyday Americans. So it's just that we have to like these entertainment cartoons like The Simpsons, Family Guy, just because other people like it, not just because I personally like it. So that it's like they like we're forced to like them because it's just pop culture.
Right.
So I believe Chepo Team is like a good alternative for that. Yeah, it's like a counterculture, like a real counterculture.
So you guys are up to 40,000 likes or followers. Did I read that correct?
47.
Yes, we have 47 now, 47,000. We want to see if we can reach 50,000 by the end of November. We'll see. But it's tough to get likes. It's tough. I mean, we really rely on our existing followers to spread the message and get new followers.
Absolutely.
I mean, we try to go out there too and try to on our own get some new followers, but it is tough. But we're getting there. We do want followers, by the way.
Well, it's very tough, especially when you have like the Kim Kardashians, where everybody wants to watch a show like that. That's mindless entertainment.
Right. Your competition is pretty thick.
Yeah. So like it's hard to wake people up to things that matter because over the last 20 years, television and radio has devolved into something with issues that don't matter. I mean, your average rap song from when I was a kid, as I was a child, rap had a content to it. It was, there was messages, there was positive attitude, come up out of the ghetto, get a job. And then rap music towards the 90s just evolved into this like mentality of rob somebody and women are not worth anything and degrade them. And so, everything has gone in the opposite direction. The same thing with politics. People used to... Go ahead.
Yeah, but it's not only rap music. I mean, if you see like an episode of Family Guy, it's the same thing actually, or what you just described. They do the same thing, and in politics too. Or the people in the media in Hollywood, like what they did to Sarah Palin, they call her all the names possible. And I think also they called a lot of names to her daughter. But if you say something against Hillary Clinton or her daughter, you hate women. You hate women. If you say something bad about Sarah Palin, either right or wrong, that she can be. Oh no, that's fair. Yeah, no, there's no difference. Hillary Clinton is a woman, Sarah Palin is a woman, but yet it's fair to attack one but not the other. I mean, come on. Yeah, that's the thing that we also like try to get in our message. Enough with the hypocrisy. We try to put that when we can in the comics.
Right, and I think you guys.
Yeah.
I think you guys do a really great job with that. Obviously, this is the second time we've had you on the show, so obviously, we have the utmost respect for you and all the great work that you're doing. And I think that you really accomplish your goals and the message that you're trying to put out 100%. And I think you're absolutely right in that everything involved with pop culture, everything that's kind of fed to the masses as brain candy, for lack of a better word, as far as being so-called entertainment with all these things that just don't matter. And it's a combination of things that don't matter along with propaganda promoting things that are complete opposite of what American values always have been and always should be. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yes. I mean, it's like they think they can, they think people actually agree with that message, with the message of like with their bias message. And there's millions of Americans that they do not agree, but unfortunately we don't have an alternative,
Right. And it's not only that, it's like a combination of people who don't necessarily agree with the message and then people who do know better but that are easily led and kind of hypnotized by, the mainstream media and so-called reality TV and all these things that, one, don't really matter, don't mean anything, but also on top of it kind of push agendas that are completely against the values of this country and what once upon a time made it great. Let me ask you a quick question, something that I really was curious about, that I wanted to talk to you guys about because of your obvious leanings, politically. What do you think, or are you familiar with Monsanto and what they're all about?
Well, I mean, we haven't really gone into Monsanto that much. Mm-hmm. One interesting fact about Monsanto, putting what they do in food, outside of that, they actually created, back in the 70s, I believe, they created this drug that pretty much eliminated, not this drug, it was like a pesticide that pretty much eliminated malaria. In third world countries, the DDT. Yeah, the DDT. Yeah, the DDT. They developed DDT, and DDT was smeared pretty much by the green agenda movement, the media, in Newsweek, I think also. But this chemical actually saved millions of lives.
Sure.
Back in the days, especially in countries in Africa, that they were dying by the millions in Latin America. So along comes this activist. I can't remember her name, but she started talking about the birds, that she don't see many birds anymore because of DDT. Takes it to the courts. Liberal judges with no scientific basis whatsoever ban DDT in the United States. What the EPA was ban the DDT. What? It has to be a judge that the judges, I don't know about that, but no solid scientific evidence other than anecdotal evidence. So without the United States financially supporting DDT for other countries, pretty much grew malaria again in low resource countries, and millions died. But stories like that, you just see in the media, you just hear, oh yeah, DDT was bad and Monsanto is evil, but they don't tell you that side of the story. And like I said, is it right or wrong on what they do in food?
Our media right now, can't cover that stuff.
They have done all the other good stuff like saving lives with DDT.
Right. Yeah. No. Absolutely.
And I mean, it's like we try to, one of the methods that we do with the comic. One of the methods that we do is like we don't go with mob mentality. Always be careful with the mob. Always don't go with what is popular and all that. And sometimes it would be popular to hate this particular corporation, but at least if you're gonna talk bad about it, at least know some of its history. And most people that like Monsanto don't really know what they do. They just say, oh, Monsanto is bad because they mess with food. But they at least tell me, okay, maybe you don't agree you don't agree that they modified the genetically modified food because it could cause cancer later on because of this scientific blah 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 that I heard before. Maybe if you tell me that, then I will listen to you. But if you tell me, oh, I don't agree with Monsanto because they're evil corporation, come on, man, get out of here.
Yeah, no, that's, you know what, that's an excellent point. I'm glad that you brought that up because a lot of people do have an